Shalom, everyone. This is Yalak here. I've got a new lesson today, a new series which I mentioned quite some time ago, and I'm just getting around to it. And this series is called Anatomy of Change. And this is the first lesson in this series. And I want to take some time in these lessons to help us take a look at how changes happen in our lives. And I'm doing this from what I read in the Bible, as well as from what I see in my own life, and just observing the way how the world works. Now, sometimes we are so frustrated by the things that happen in our lives, and we just can't understand what it is that's going on that's stopping us from having the things happen in our lives that we really want to happen. We forget, however, that the things that should be happening in our lives are happening in our lives. Now, when you look at trouble from a Torah perspective, you understand that even trouble should happen in your life. Yeah, because man that is born of a woman is of a few days full of trouble. So the Creator has actually set it so that you are going to enter into some kind of trouble. And when you look at the troubles for Israel going into captivity, that's a Torah spoken of kind of trouble for Israel. And that's something that is Creator designed. Moses looked at the whole situation as far as you heard it from the Most High, and told Israel in Deuteronomy chapter 28, these are some blessings here you're going to get if you follow the instructions of the Most High, and these are some kind of troubling situations you're going to get if you don't follow the instructions of the Most High. So we see that with a contract with the Most High, He wrote into it some blessings, but He wrote into it some trouble as well. So that if things don't go well because you don't follow the rules, basically, you're gonna have to, just expect some trouble. But what I find, however, is that sometimes we feel that because the Creator has all this power, He made the earth, everything there is, that we feel that if we just cry out that He's supposed to fix everything, He's going to fix everything. He is fixing everything. Sometimes we just don't understand how He works. And so Anatomy of Change is helping us to kind of lower some of the effects of the frustration that we have, because we are not learning faith. We are not resting and trusting in His Word enough. And so what I observe is that sometimes the Most High will put us through certain situations that are troubling in order to bring us to the place where He wants us to get to. And that's all a part of His plan. Now, look at how trouble shapes up in your life, and look at how you are led in the midst of trouble. Anatomy of change. Sometimes a kind of trouble will come into your life. Well, we know trouble comes, and it comes to us in different ways, but sometimes trouble will come into your life because the Creator is actually dealing with another kind of trouble. Yeah. Sometimes you will enter into a problem because of just a mistake or something else that happens. Someone's hating you, whatever. Things like that. Just general mishap in life. But sometimes you just got to stop to take a look and see why certain things are actually happening in your life. Sometimes you're going to have a problem that is actually a problem because it is a tool. Like you get a screwdriver to fix something in your house. You want to tighten something, tighten a cupboard door or something. And that tool is fixing a problem. But the tool came about and became created. Someone made that one day because of a problem. And sometimes you can actually give yourself a bigger problem to make a tool that you need, and you don't have it, but you need it to fix another problem. But the tool you are making actually causes you some amount of difficulty in the first place in order to create. But you got to make it and go through that step in order to get the tool to fix the next problem. So sometimes some trouble in the life of the person who's following the Most High, it's just all creator led. Now look at this whole story with Joseph and the baker and the butler. Consider something with me here. We know the story already. Joseph said he got a dream, sheaves are going to bow down to him. They all looked at him kind of strange, and of course they didn't like that. The father wondered at that, and Joseph eventually went out to check on his brothers one day. Little did he know that that day when he left home, he was leaving for the last time. Today he was doing more. He was also leaving his home to go to Egypt that he didn't know. So he is leaving home to go on a journey he never planned to go on. Sometimes the creator is just going to just say, hey, it's time now. Like, come on, let's go. And you don't even know where you're going. You think, oh, this looks great. And next thing you know, it just looks normal. Next thing you know, it turns into something else. So he left home to go to Egypt, but thought he was leaving home to go see his brothers close by. Didn't have a clue that he was going to go someplace much farther. But he was in the Creator's hands. And what's going to happen when the Creator puts you down in a pit and it's for your blessing, but you think you are being cursed? Now, here in Genesis chapter 40 and verse 14, he's already in the prison and he's dealing with the baker and the butler. He interpreted the dreams for them, and he told the baker, basically, your time is up. You're not going to bake anymore. And he says to the butler, yeah, you're going to be restored as the former manner was. And in verse 14 of chapter 40, he says, but think on me when it shall be well with thee, and show kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. Sometimes the Creator, in order for his greater plan and for his name's sake and for his will to be done, etc., as the scriptures teach, he is going to shift and move you into different circumstances in life, shift and move you in and out of this scenario, and rearrange things in your life and turn things this and that and the other way, in order to bring you to the point where he wants to bring you, to bless you in a certain kind of way, where he is going to end up being able to bless others through that blessing he put into your life. Sometimes he might even wreck your life just to fix somebody else's life. But in order to fix the other issues that are going to come, where other people will be fixed themselves and mended in life themselves, he has to fix you as well. But he has to break you in a certain kind of way in order to fix you up in that other kind of way. You've got a problem in your body, whatever problem, and the problem is internal. Your flesh is all right, your skin is okay, your skin is fine. But in order to fix an internal organ that, let's say, is already ruptured and bleeding, the surgeon will have to rupture your good flesh, cut your body, and cause you harm. They cut, for instance, into your belly to operate on you, and injure your flesh in order to create a problematic situation for your flesh and cause your flesh to bleed in order to fix a problem that's beyond the flesh that you cannot see, that's already bleeding on the inside. So in order to fix the bleeding from the ruptured organ inside of the good-looking flesh, they break the flesh on the outside to fix that which is a problem on the inside. Anatomy of change. Sometimes we think, oh, God must hate me. Sometimes we think, how much more do I have to endure this and fast again and pray again? And maybe I just need a better Bible. I need the one with the concordance at the back. I got to spend the $50 extra. Put that $50 into your car, putting gas in your car. The Bible you have is all right. Get some gas for your car, man. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with your Bible. They keep putting out all these different versions, plus the trick versions and so on that they put out. Ain't nothing wrong with your Bible. The same Bible you got is all right. It took you through the other years of your life. This one's going to take you through. Now, if you can get the next Bible you want, yeah, sure, get it. But I'm just trying to let you know that it's not your Bible that's the problem. Because after you get the next Bible and you get 2 more after that, you're still going to have some troubling situations. One time, long time ago, when I was in the Christian church, years ago in, I don't know, early to mid 90s, somewhere there, I don't remember. I bought this really nice Bible. It was nice to me at the time. Now I hardly read it, and now I end up having 2 of them. But I bought the Bible, $3,000 for the Bible. Really nice Bible, and the Bible was nice. I still like it to this day. But now I use other Bibles, and I'm thinking I should probably go back and see why I liked it in the first place. But I still ended up having all kinds of problems. The first problem I had was that I didn't even understand the book. And then went on to having further problems in my life in different areas. So it's not the Bible, people. The Creator is going to do things to change your life in different kinds of ways according to what He sees fit. Anatomy of change is going to help you to take a look from a different vantage point on all the troubles in your life. I have a record of every important but also some minor situations in my life that I've ever remembered from when I was a small child coming up. Everything. And I've been looking back at those things, and you see, I got to trace and try to figure out what this life is about. I got to try to see, what things actually fit into my life, for what reason, why did they come, when did they start, for how long did they last, for what purpose were they brought into my life, who caused them to come into my life. Did this one happen because of some accidental or mistake kind of situation that I made some blunder, maybe a lack of information and so on, or did someone just take advantage of me? Was I just trying to help someone? Why this particular situation happened, and so on. So and I'm tracing to see how the Creator actually works. So I've got files and files and boxes. It originally started because I was preparing to write a book, which I wrote a book when I was in the Christian church. And I've left off the book now because things have changed and so on with this Hebrew understanding. A lot of things need to be changed and so on. But basically, the publisher has a book and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm realizing that I was trying to write a book and I didn't even know anything about the Creator. And I'm just starting to learn about Him now that I'm reading Torah. And so I was making all these files and files and files with these different situations in my life. Only now do I understand that there is a different way that I can use all that information that I filed away in these files about the different things. And I had them on the different topics. If I remember now, there was a topic of time, a heading of place, or places, events, and there was one other category I can't remember, talking about the different things that I went to. So I categorized every event in my life that I thought was major, important, or life-changing, and then a smattering of smaller ones here and there, just to try to help keep the shape of my memory. And now I'm seeing that I can use that information for more than just myself, but also to help other people. And so I'm going to be making use of that as well in these videos that I'm doing. But I understand that if I am just looking at the different events that happen in my life, how much more the Creator is taking stock of the different events in my life as well. He's looking at our lives. He has planned out our lives. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Most High. So that's basically letting us know that He's in control of everything. Nothing is happening to you that He doesn't know about, He's not aware of, and so on. So when you deal with now interaction, sometimes your situation will get messed up more and your life will become even more complicated when you were doing your best to keep things going steady and straight, and you're wondering, you're scratching your head, how in the world did it get this bad? I had the best of plan and everybody was looking at me like, wow, man, they're going places and so on and whatever, and you're wondering like, how in the world did it change so fast and things get so drastic? Sometimes the Most High will send you on a trip to Egypt when you left home thinking you're just going to go down by the field to see your brothers. Divine interaction is going to move you into places you never thought it was possible for you to get in. Divine interaction. And so the story goes on now that Joseph was there in the prison, and he, later on we know that he rose to being the vizier in Egypt, right? He's very high in the land, just underneath the Pharaoh. He's basically running the show, ruling over the land. And for all intents and purposes, he's basically the Pharaoh in the land, because that's how he would have been seen, right? He's just like a copy of the Pharaoh, if I might put it that way. But so here it is now. Divine interaction needs Moses. Sorry, not Moses. Moses has been on my mind lately. But divine interaction needs Joseph to get to Egypt, to get in that position in order to have some kind of power that's going to bless the rest of his family and pave the way for some future events in the life of the nation of Israel. Joseph is not going to get into the Pharaoh's presence and in the Pharaoh's palace and have, a cup of tea with the Pharaoh anytime he wants and be able to have all kinds of interaction with the Pharaoh that is going to be life-changing for many people as well as for the children of Israel later on. But Joseph needs to get into that position right there, that position of power, to have some interaction with the Pharaoh that's going to bring about the miracle of change in his life. This is the anatomy of change. In order to bring about all of that kind of change, he must have some lower level, because they're not at the level of the Pharaoh, he must have some lower level interaction with some other kind of people and situations in his life that may seem unfortunate for him, but they are divinely inspired interactions. So he has a different kind of interaction with his brothers where they said, hey, let's kill this brother of ours. Just get rid of him and his dream. So he has an unfavorable interaction with them. They threw him in a pit. Ended up, he was sold to slaves, taken over to Egypt. So that's another interaction he had there with the slave, with the people who were purchasing slaves, took him away. Then now he gets into the prison. He has now gotten into a place where this place, the prison house, this place, your debt, this place, your broken marriage, this place, the problem with your family, this place, the problem on your job. He has gotten into this broken place in life where he's in a prison house and he can't get out, but it is a place of a divinely put together house of interaction where he will meet two people in particular that he will have to interact with, who's going to catapult him to his dream of sheaves bowing down unto him, like the Creator said. So he now has to interact with the baker and the butler, who themselves has for some time had interaction on probably a regular basis with the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. So men who normally had interaction with the Pharaoh are now moved into the prison house, which is the house of interaction at this stage for Joseph, in order to give Joseph an opportunity to have interaction with them. Because Joseph can't leave the prison house and go up in the king's quarters and go up in the palace and deal with having all this kind of interaction with the baker and the butler to have the changes in his life that he needs. So because he does not have the access to the king's courts and presence, then what the Most High did was move in the life of the butler and the baker and take them down and have them demoted to go down to the house of Joseph's interaction with the baker and the butler. When they get down there, they get some further divine interaction from the Creator and gets dreams that are going to totally change the situation now. Eventually, the baker's going to die, the butler's going to be restored. He says, hey, remember me. I'm going to talk about remember me some other time, but remember me, he didn't do it right away, but later on he did it when the Pharaoh now, time came that the Pharaoh himself had a divine interaction from the Creator who gives him also a dream. So we've got at least 4 dreams in the story here now. Joseph's dream started the whole thing where sheaves are going to bow down unto him, goes through some interactions, and then 2 other people got dreams who would not have even noticed him in the first place, and then somehow they interact with him, and then the Pharaoh has the 4th dream in the story, and now it brings Joseph into the whole picture now, where he's going to be in the Pharaoh's mind. Now the Pharaoh is dealing with Joseph in his mind. When Joseph was begging the butler, the king didn't have Joseph on his mind. When Joseph was being transported by the Midianites, king didn't have Joseph on his mind. When he was being mistreated by his brothers, put down in a pit, king didn't have Joseph on his mind. When Joseph had a dream, king didn't have Joseph on his mind. When the brothers and the father said, what kind of dream is this? King didn't have Joseph on his mind. But in order to put Joseph on the mind of the king, all kinds of divinely inspired and orchestrated interactions happen in the life of this one youngster, Joseph, in order to get Joseph into the place of Egypt, the power nation at the time, to bring Joseph in a spot where Joseph is only from here going to rise. So you thought you were going to go to that job interview in the next state just to get a job. Like Joseph, you were going not just to check on your brother, but to go to Egypt. You're going sometimes to that next state, to that next city, not just to go for that job interview, but you are going and traveling there in order to travel to someplace else in your life where the Most High is going to have some other kind of interaction for you that's going to change your life, change your situation, change other people's lives as well, change the future of Israel. Yeah, because you have to go through this minor set of interaction in order to move into the place where you're going to have some greater interaction to fulfill the will of the Most High. So Joseph went through all these different interactions led by the Creator, set up by the Creator, and landed right in front of the Pharaoh's face. The king said, go get me that man. They hurried, they made haste, and they brought Joseph. That troubling situation, as you trust in the Most High and follow His Torah, it's going to lead you to a place you never dreamed of before. And you'd be like, wait, but didn't you say he had a dream? So shouldn't you be ending saying it's going to bring you to the place where I dreamed of? Well, that's a given. You're going to get to where you dream of because the Most High is giving you that dream. but you're still going to get to a place that you didn't quite dream of. Joseph dreamt that she's going to bow.